Okay, I'm gonna be honest here, I'm a little bit nervous to enter the fray on this one. I feel like I'm kind of jumping into the water here with a bunch of people who are a lot more influential than me, and have much higher production values. Not the point. I'm also not really that much of an authority on this precise topic, considering I've never actually been to college. But about a year ago, I dropped out of high school and started homeschooling. And both of my parents are college professors, and both of them believe that there's something deeply wrong with the American education system. So I don't know, I guess I can offer insight in that regard. I want to bring up something that Mikla said, about how maybe Dan was the only one noticing his problems with his school. Disregarding everything Dan said, I'd think that shouldn't matter at all. Dan's decision in dropping out shouldn't have anything to do with what everyone else in the school thought. It should have been whether or not Dan was being educated. Once again, this is completely ignoring everything Dan said. One of the biggest problems with American education, at least in high school, is the assumption that everyone can be taught the same way. That there is a perfect uniform method for giving people information and for them to intake that information. Once again, I have two educators in my family, one of whom teaches education, so I sort of know what I'm talking about here. Kind of a little bit. The fact of the matter is, and I'm kind of surprised no one has brought this up yet, people learn differently. And for some people, that difference is a lot more dramatic. Let's take me, for example. I have ADD and dyslexia. Although I'm sort of on the fence on whether or not ADD actually exists, it's pretty clear dyslexia does. My dyslexia alone makes me learn dramatically differently than anyone in any class I've ever been in ever. I will go into exactly why in another video, but probably not. The school I dropped out of was a pretty good school, but it wasn't right for me. And in the end, I think dropping out was the right decision. Now for the counterpoint from myself. Although I think in the long run I'm learning a lot more from being homeschooled, I'm probably learning at a much slower pace. What I'm learning is more meaningful, I'm just not taking it in as quickly. There's also the fact that my social life is practically non-existent. You don't really appreciate how many relationships you make at school until you're no longer going to school, and you suddenly find that you have very few relationships. So I think dropping out in any situation should be a last resort. I didn't drop out until I had a couple nervous breakdowns. So frankly, a nudging feeling in the side of your gut saying that you probably shouldn't be here really isn't enough to justify dropping out. Dramatic light change. What I'm basically trying to say is, if you're considering dropping out, proceed with caution. Another quick thing, I have met a bunch of college and high school dropouts, and I say a good 60% of them are really, really intelligent. The other 40% of them are total slackers, but the 60%, very, very smart people. You know, just an observation I've made that has absolutely no factual basis. Okay, I think I'm about done here. It wasn't so hard.